Session is recording. So, welcome to the Digital Discovery Day of HBO IT Software Engineering. My name is Manasse Siekmans. I'm a lecturer at Saxion, and I also teach software engineering courses. So, if you have a question during this presentation, um, just you can raise your hand, but you can also put a message in the chat, or you can open your microphone. That's all allowed. So I teach mostly software engineering courses, so programming. I also do internship guidance and graduation. Um, so in all the 4 years, I have a role in teaching. So Saxion is located in the province of Overijssel, and the International Software Engineering Program is in Deventer. Um, but I'm curious, where are you from? From which country? So you can put a chat message. What is your home country? Slovakia, Romania, Bulgaria. Okay, so all Eastern Europe. We've got uh, more students from Slovakia, Romania, and Bulgaria. So you're not the only ones there. Uh, and usually those students are successful in the program, and they also like it. So okay, so a bit about Deventer. So Deventer is a city in the Netherlands, and it's an old city, and it used to belong to the Hanseatic League, that was some sort of a forerunner of the European Union, you could say. And many cities were a member of that union, um, and they traded with each other. So uh, it's a city where you can cycle everywhere. Yeah, usually in the Netherlands you cycle everywhere. Um, Most people in the Netherlands can talk English. Um, so if you also know how to talk English, that will help. And yeah, it's a nice city to live in. So I will go over the program that you will follow if you decide to start the software engineering course at Saxion. Um, these are per year and per quartile. So this is Dutch for year, and a quartile is a kwartiel in Dutch. But the courses are all in English, of course. Um, we have so the year is divided in 4 quartiles, and we have introduction courses in the first quartile. Um, so synergy is a course the um, about living in the Netherlands, and also getting to know the courses. Yeah, getting used to studying at Saxion. Introduction to infrastructures. So it's an introduction to infrastructures, of course. You have to know a little bit about infrastructures before you can start programming. So where do you deploy your software and those kind of things. And of course, programming itself. So our programming course um, is Java oriented. So if you already know some basic programming, uh, that's good, of course. But all courses start um, um, at a level that everybody can follow them. So even if you don't have that much experience in programming, then that's not a problem. So the second quartile goes deeper into creating databases. IT fundamentals is knowledge about how a computer works. And then we have a project. So in quartile 2 and in quartile 4, we have projects. And the first project is working together as a team and then building a small game. And then you can demonstrate your software engineering skills, of course. So with the knowledge you have from the first quartile, you should be able to do the project. That's the idea. Then in the third quartile, we proceed further into object-oriented programming. So it's a Java course, so it's an object-oriented language. So there we will deepen your programming knowledge. Requirements engineering is about when you're building a software application for a client, you need to know what the requirements are of the clients before you can start building. So that is how to communicate with the client to get those requirements. And we have a course in algorithms and data structures. So that's also a deepening of your programming knowledge. Then in quartile 4, we go into internet-based programming, so creating websites and web applications for the web. Software development principles is also a continuation of object-oriented programming. And we have a project, so a team-building challenge. And that's also a programming course where you have to develop a simulation to drive a moon rover. So that's also a fun project to do. So with the projects, they are all software engineering oriented. We also have study coaching. So if you start studying at Saxion, you will be appointed a study coach. I'm also a study coach of several students. So a study coach is there for if you are facing problems, either progress or something else, and you can talk to your study coach and he will help you. But also will give you advice when to do certain courses or when you need to start the internship, those kind of things. The second year, so we have web basics in quartile 4 of the first year. In second year, we have web advanced. That's a continuation of the web development course, and that's mostly based on JavaScript and Node.js, those kind of technologies. Then we have complex data structures and parallel computing. Those are based on Java itself again. So Java, the programming language. And these are assignments. The courses in the first year, some of them are assignments and some of them are actual tests. But the most courses in the second year are assignments. So on an assignment, you work mostly alone, and you have to create a program or solve a problem with programming. So internet technology in the quartile 2 of second year is also a Java course where you create a chat application. So you have to know client and server technologies for that. System design, creating a system, a complex system. So also programming a course. And we have project client on board. So in the second quartile and in the fourth quartile of the second year, You will be working with real clients, and you have to create a software product for them. So project client on board, there you will have to create a software application for a real client. And the bigger project, HBO IT Corp, is also where you develop a software application for a client. Those projects need to be you need to be doing in a team. So you will also be graded on how well you can cooperate with other students. So the third quartile is DevOps. So uh, automatic deploying of your application on GitHub, for example. Um, embedded programming is working with, you create programs that are embedded in real hardware. So working with programming chips, for example. Then we have research, law, and ethics. Well, you have to have some ethics before you can develop software. Well, the project in quartile 4, of course. And then we have advanced data management. That's the continuation of the databases course in the first year. Well, if you've completed the first 2 years, then you have basic programming knowledge, and then you can go on an internship. So you can choose to go to an internship. So you need to find a place where they are looking for software engineering students. And international software engineering students usually find a place, so that won't be a problem. So there you will work at a company, and it's for experiencing what it is to be a software engineering, a junior software engineering person. If you've completed the internship, you can choose to do a minor, but for the minor, you can also choose to do a second internship. So that's also a possibility. But you can also choose to do 30 credits in another program. So you can choose a different field of study, do 30 credits there, or do a program at a different university. That's also a possibility. So you can choose to do the minor in the second half of the year, or you can choose to do a specialization. Specializations are also a choice in the fourth year. So you see advanced application development, for example. You can choose to do that specialization in the third year instead of the minor. Then the minor moves to the fourth year. But you can also do, if you've already done the internship in the minor, you can also do specializations in the first half year of the fourth year. So there are different specializations you can choose. So advanced application development, that mostly continues on your knowledge of web development, so creating applications for the web. You can do data in artificial intelligence engineering and Internet of Things. A popular choice usually is the advanced application development, but this one is a newer. So the data and advanced engineering, artificial engineering is a newer one, and that's also popular. Well, and if you've completed all the specializations and all the other courses, then you can do your graduation, and that's also at a company where you do your graduation. Well, you have to demonstrate that you are a software engineer at a junior level, and you have to write a report, so a research report on that. And you have to defend your work, of course. And I also guide graduation students. So, well, when students are starting to studying at Saxion, they create a plan for themselves. Um, and your plan is, of course, to make it as smooth as possible. So you have a starting point and an end point. That's your vision. But usually in the real life, it's quite a struggle to finish the studies. So there's always something that doesn't go as planned. So, but that's just life. So just keep on studying and keep on doing your work, and eventually you will reach the end, of course. Um, for the study materials, so yeah, you have to have a decent laptop for starting before starting studying with us. Uh, some courses require books, but those are in the book list, of course, that will be shared with you. Um, yeah, for the internships and graduation, you can have before you start them, you can have advice, of course, and there are courses also with information and list of companies that you can write. Um, and when you are done with the internship or the graduation, um, usually there is also a chance that you can keep on working at the companies that you've done the internship or the graduation at. And we have these companies that are listed. Parantion or Takeaway or Trim are also companies that will take international students. Okay, so when coming to the Netherlands, you have to arrange certain things, of course. You have to find housing, so you can apply for housing at the Saxion University. When you get housing from Saxion, you are allowed to stay there for 1 year, and then you have to look for another place. Um, Depending on where you're from, you may have to apply for a visa. A study counselor can also be consulted um, before beginning studying at Saxion. So you can mail the international office if you want to have more information. But also during the stay at Saxion, you can always contact your study coach or the international office if you have special needs or if you need a doctor, those kind of things. Okay, so I've been talking quite a bit. Do you have questions for me about the program or about maybe what laptop you need, those kind of things? So I'm curious, what kind of laptops do you have now? What are the specs, the specifications? Okay, so you need to look for a laptop. Do you have a general idea? What kind of laptop do you need? So you can choose. Yeah, you can choose a Intel based one or an AMD. Um, if you proceed further on into the software engineering program, a Mac is also fine. Um, so you have to have plenty of RAM. So if you are choosing a system with 32 gigabytes of RAM, that's enough. A MacBook with a fourth generation chip with 24 gigabytes of RAM is also enough. Yeah, that will also be good. So you have to look for a laptop with enough processing power. So an i7 or a Ryzen 7 with enough memory. So 16 gigabytes of RAM memory. That's basically the minimum, um, and That's also enough. So, but if you have more, that's okay, of course. And if you have an Apple, um, so make sure you have one with also enough RAM memory. So the older Macs usually have 8 gigabytes of RAM. That's doable, but 16 gigabytes of RAM is better. And of course, you have to have enough storage room or on your SSD or hard disk. Well, it's usually an SSD. Um, Try to go for a minimum of 512 gigabytes or bigger. You can do it with 256, but 512 is better. Okay, so if you're still looking for a laptop, take in consideration that you have to have enough processing power, enough RAM, so 16 gigabytes minimum, and well, Intel, AMD, or Mac. That's okay. Okay, you can also choose to have your desktop with you, of course. Um, but Usually our courses, for our courses, a laptop is enough. So if you have a decent laptop, you should be able to do all the courses that we will throw at you. So yeah, you have a MacBook, right? Um, yeah, that should be enough. So you don't have to take your desktop with you, but of course you are free to do so. So the laptop should be enough. Okay, other questions that you would like to know, or the answers to them. So when looking for a place to stay in Deventer, it's good to start early when searching. Yeah, you have to start early for searching for a place to live. But if you contact the international office, they will try to get you a place, of course. So start with that early, that you know that you have a place near Saxion, of course. So Saxion has a few buildings where they place students, um, but of course there is a limited space. So if you are deciding to start studying with us, contact the international office that you are looking for housing. Then you get an immediate response if there is enough space or not. Okay, So these are the contact details. Support HBO ICT at Saxion. You can always contact them if you have questions about the program itself, or if you have questions about housing, for example, or applying for the study. You can also contact the international office at Saxion. So I'm waiting if you have any more questions. Otherwise, we will wrap it up. Do you also have experience with programming? Have you programmed already in Python or JavaScript or something else? Or are you starting from zero? Okay, C++. So yeah, if you have some experience with C++, then Java should not be that bad. So it should be pretty similar. Python is also a good language to start with. Yeah, C Sharp. C Sharp is almost the same as Java. So if you already have some experience with that, yeah, you all have experience. So yeah, picking up Java should not be a problem for you. You could always choose to do already some studying, of course. So I can give you a site. So if you go to that site, www.w3schools.com/Java, it will give you an introduction into the Java programming language. So then you already have some knowledge about what Java programming is like. So in the first year, we will mostly focus on Java. But Python is also a good language to start learning. And if you have experience in C++ or C Sharp, then Java should not be a problem for you. Okay. So if you don't have any other questions, I will stop this session. I will stop the recording